quite requested, but I never really thought I was planning on doing it, and I never really thought I would do it up until this coming week, or this week that just passed for me. I don't have school tomorrow or the rest of the week because of Thanksgiving, but it's about school organization. Today I had a huge test in econ, and I was studying with a whole bunch of people, and all these people had these note cards, and everyone's like, oh, I'm missing this, or oh, I'm missing this, or oh, I'm missing this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not missing anything. And got me to talking all about how organized I was in school, and like what I do to get study for tests, and how I keep my notes organized and all this stuff. And I realized, I'm like, you know what, hey, I do have a few things to say about that. So I am going to be doing that. And as most of you know, if you've seen my What's in My School Bag video, this is my school bag. Everybody needs to carry a pencil case. It can be a makeup bag or anything that you keep your pencils in. So first off, I'm really lazy. So I don't like getting up out of my seat. I like having everything at my desk and everything I need. So I carry a little stapler. And this has a whole bunch of staples stuck to the back of it because it's magnetic. I have a regular calculator. I also have a scientific or like graphing calculator, but this is the one that I keep in here. I think you need to have a calculator at all times. Even if you don't have a math class, you're really going to need to use a calculator. Or if you're just trying to figure out what your grade is in a percent on like your last test or something. Here I have one regular pencil, and then I have four mechanical pencils, 2 highlighters. I know 2 highlighters might seem excessive, or I would tend to bring 3 normally, but I like alternate highlighting. I think a really disgusting, really dirty eraser, which is awesome because I'm one of those people who I mess up in math. I mess up in a lot of classes, and I want to erase a whole big span of things. These are mini Post-it notes. They're pink, yellow, and blue, and I just use the different tabs I use these a lot in AP Comp or any English class to in books if you want to look at quotes again, or if you don't understand a word or something like that. You can even make a key on the top of your paper using colored markers to know, oh, the pink tabs are for the words I didn't understand. The blue tabs are for the terms I know are going to be on the test. And the yellow tabs are for the quotes I really like and I want to look up. Agendas are your friends. I have friends who will be like, oh, I lost my agenda, I can't find it. I'm like, how are you surviving without your agenda? For me, that's statistics. So I'd write my statistics homework right on there, and then I can keep going back through the week, and they've got these check boxes. You can check them off. Just write everything down. The second I walk into a class, I look at the board where the teacher writes down the homework, or I ask the teacher what their homework is so I can write it down. Because some teachers will forget to tell you the homework, but they'll tell the other classes and you're expected to know it. So just get your homework down as soon as you walk in the door so you don't forget. A notebook that goes with each class you take notes in a lot. So, because if you keep it on loose sheets of paper, it's not as easy to go back through when you're doing your notes. And I find this is so much easier just having this. And so anytime my teacher starts a lecture, I can just whip this out, and I've got all last week notes on the page behind me, and I just keep going, and everything's in chronological order. So you're not borrowing pieces of paper from friends or like ripping them out of your planner or anything like that. It's all together in one spot. So this is an example of me. This is a capitalism keynote from August 23rd, which was the first things we did. In yellow, here, I've highlighted all of the people I needed to know for the first test and all of the key concepts. And then in pink, I highlighted all of the key words I need to know and all the terms and all that stuff. Those teachers will give you a study guide before your test. I don't do my highlighting while I'm taking notes because I don't really know what's going to be on the test. But if your teacher doesn't give you a specific thing what's going to be on the test, if your teacher said it's from chapter this to chapter this, look in the back of your textbook and see all of the terms that are in there, or just see all of the key things and then go through your notes and highlight that way. But I definitely think going through your notes and highlighting them helps a lot. Take My Notes is in Cornell note form. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but you have one line down, and for me, you can either put questions in this column or terms or little title header things, and then put all the information here. Here, I wrote corporation, and then the next note here says family unit, works together for a common goal. So basically, if there's a huge overarching idea, you can break that up into little subsections and then take notes for those subsections, so it's easier for your brain to understand when it's a whole bunch of information. For classes that you feel like you don't really need a whole binder to dedicate to, or even a whole notebook to dedicate to because it's mostly handouts, I would get a folder. This is, even if I don't think I'm going to need it again, I keep it in here. Physics handouts in here, math handouts, scripts I need to read, all that kind of stuff. Stuff's written here so it just doesn't get lost. And I recommend bringing something like this with you to class every day. If you're in any sort of math class, it doesn't have to be a math class that uses a lot of graphing or anything like that. It could just be algebra. I think it's really important to carry around a little thing full of graph paper. Even front, I keep things that relate to my my homework that I have to do that night. So right now, these in the front along with handouts I need to turn in or homework I need to do. So everything, I think math is one of the classes, at least in my opinion, where I run out of paper the quickest. Or it's like, oh my god, I always need paper for math. Oh my god, we're always writing things, we're always doing things, we're always doing things, doing crazy stuff. But if you have a thing dedicated solely for paper for math, like graph paper, you're not really going to be using this for like English or anything, so you never really run out of paper. On to binders. I would recommend getting your binders in different colors or working with color schemes, which is how I found to keep really organized. In this class, I have a teal binder along with this color folder, and then in addition to that, I have a white notebook that goes with it that makes them all color coordinated and pretty. So that's how I can remember when I'm just getting ready to go in the morning. I'm like, oh my god, gotta grab my stuff, and I can grab all those things, and because they're color coordinated, it's a lot easier to remember which ones go together for which day. Open this. First off, you see dividers, and I have dividers. Here I keep all of my practice problems for physics, and all the rest of these things are sorted. I have yet to hole punch, I put in here. Here's where I will do stuff for, we do mini labs, and these are the stuff where I write down all the stuff for my mini labs so I can go back, and they're all in chronological order. So if I'm learning like kinetic energy or potential energy or something like that, and I can't remember what it is, I have all of the labs and classwork stuff we've done organized chronologically in the back of here. For a test where you can't really memorize something, or it's not terms, or it's not chronological stuff, and you literally just need to know equations and how to solve equations, and applying equations, and applying all these theories and stuff, you just need to practice, and just practicing those problems. Anytime you have a free chance, just carry around a couple problems, write them down on top of your paper, and just do them. Or erase your handouts that have questions on them and just redo them all over again. Just do all of your homework again. And yeah, it's a hassle, but it's the only way you're really going to learn something like that. So I showed you guys my notebook that had all of the highlighted things in that I turned into note cards. And these are what I'm talking about when I say note cards. These are the note cards I actually used for my test today. If your teacher gives you a handout with all of the words you need to know, all the definitions, all of that stuff on it, write them all down on note cards and try to get note cards in the same color. I have a whole pack of note cards that are like pink, yellow, green, and blue. And so I was like, okay, so for my midterm, I'm going to use blue. Here I have note cards from sophomore year and junior year, and there's actually dust flying around because these are so old. But I keep them around just to study for the SATs, to study for the subject SATs. I'm one of those people who keeps all these things. So when my friends are freaking out going, oh my god, I do not remember those rhetoric terms from AP Comp, and we have to know them for subject SAT, I'm like, ba-bam, got them all here. So if you have time, try and make these the day you find out you have a test, or the day he gives you or the day your teacher gives you a study guide, anything like that, so you're on top of everything. So the night before the test, you're just studying these, and you're not making note cards, that you're actually learning your note cards and memorizing all this stuff. So definitely encourage you to spend the lunch before you have the test, or spend the break before you have the test. Walk around. Note cards become your best friend. You're standing, waiting for the bus in the morning. Okay, let's do some practice terms, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe in cramming. But I don't believe in leaving all your studying to cramming. I do believe in cramming. I think it's a really, really smart idea right before you're taking your test. Be looking through your note cards. Be flashing through those just so you can see the words, and they just trigger your memory. All that stuff. Even if you know everything, looking over them a second before can basically save you a couple points on a test. If you look forward, you look through and you look through and you look through and you go, crap, I can't remember. And you look and you're flipping around, goes, oh my god, crap, I can't remember. You're like, oh my god, I can't swear on this video. So you're flipping through your cards like, okay, I know this. Oh god, what is this? I can't remember what this one is. And then you can look at it really quick, and this split second, and it's the first question on your test. You just write it down, and you remember it. It's like, bam, yes! Math and science tests. These are something which, like I've said before, have always been my struggle subjects. First second I sit down in a test, and I'm handed a piece of binder paper, I'm handed the test, anything like that, the first thing I write down on my paper is not my name. It is all the equations that I can remember. Just say right before you go into the test, don't think about strategy, don't think about anything except equations. Just read the equations, read them over and over and over again. As soon as you walk into the test, write the equations on top of your paper. Grades are not everything. That kid after class asking, what can I do for extra credit, blah, 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 because I know I don't excel in a lot of academic things, and I need to make up with that for being proactive and being like, okay, I can do this. And if you throw yourself into this and you work really, really, really hard, it will pay off. Being organized is half the battle of all of this. So important to getting good grades in school and getting into college and anything like that. So you never have that frantic moment on a Sunday night being like, oh my god, I have a massive test tomorrow that I didn't study for. You never want to be left in the dark. So if you're ahead of everything and you're on top of everything, you're organized, everything's together, everything's where you think it is, everything's just together in an aura of harmony and unicorns. I think it's better to be a good person than have good grades, but I mean, that's just me. I wouldn't stress if you have bad grades, but definitely there's a lot of steps you can take that don't include suddenly growing a Jimmy Neutron brain that can actually help you academically get better grades, anything like that, which are simple steps like folders and filing and post-its, fun stuff that are pink and colorful. Things that can actually help you improve your grade with not even really trying that hard. So I feel like this is like getting through high school for dummies. Who's the dummy?